Hello, welcome to my channel 25th and South. My name is Cece and today you're watching a speed build. So this speed build is a little different from the few that I have done because it is a part of a collab that was put together by a YouTuber friend, TheDiamondGirl, and she reached out to me wanting to do asking me if I would do a collab featuring single mom apartments, and I was really excited. There weren't too many rules about what we could do. Actually, there's really no rules about what we can do, but so that's one reason why I was excited about it, that I could pretty much come up with any story that I wanted and pick any apartment that I wanted and use whatever budget I wanted. So I was really happy to be a part of this collab, and down below in the description there will be a link to all the other YouTubers that are part of this collab, and they include, of course, the creator of this collab, TheDiamondGirl, Queen Ash Gaming, Jacob is here, Dutch Sim Girl, Sophia Lexi, I believe, or Sophia Alexis, sorry, and Rosia. Ooh, I'm sorry if I butchered your names, but go down in the description below, check out all these YouTubers, check out their channels. I've watched a few of their videos, they're a lot of fun. But anyway, let me get into the speed build, and I will sort of give you a rundown of my family and their apartment. So for this build, I decided to make a single mom who, for the majority of her life, has lived on her own, never been married, never had kids. She is a businesswoman, so her name is Michelle McMillan, and she is in the business career. She's worked really hard. She lives in the arts district, and so she's really worked hard to afford this apartment, and she's just very, very high up on her career. And she got to looking around her apartment one day and thought to herself, this house needs more. It needs something else. And she didn't know exactly what this house needed until she was at a benefit for foster children at the museum. And you know, Michelle gets invited to these types of charity and benefits all of the time, and she's happy to go to sort of show her face because she wants to make a good impression and she wants to rub elbows and network. But at this particular benefit, the actual children that were in the foster care system was there, and she just so happened to meet a brother and sister duo, Madeline and Gregory Gates. Madeline is a teenager, and her little brother Gregory is, of course, a child sim. And she just sort of Michelle had a run-in with these two and instantly knew exactly what her home needed. Her home needed these two kids. And so, being the go-getter that she is, Michelle immediately reached out to their social worker and inquired about adopting them. And within a couple of weeks, Madeline and Gregory were all moved in to Michelle's home. And so we are sort of seeing them in this house. It's been a couple of months. And so sort of how I designed Michelle's apartment is definitely for someone who is single and likes the finer things in life. As you can see, I'm using that beautiful vintage glamour sofa and those, I believe those come, the fitness pack chairs. I love those fitness pack chairs. And now I do change a lot throughout the video, mostly because I couldn't decide, because I can never decide when I'm decorating a place. But two, just the more that I was sort of thinking about Michelle's personality and kind of the things that she might like, I wanted her home to sort of fit that. So her living room is going to look very sophisticated, very elegant, very not kid friendly, because Michelle has never had children. She's doesn't think about it when she, or has never thought about it when picking the things for her house. And so The living room, like I said, is not going to be very kid friendly, and she has absolutely no idea what kids like. So, at least for now, the only thing really in the living room that a kid would possibly enjoy is television, that I do end up putting in the corner. But as you can see, I'm already starting to change my mind about things. So I've already changed out those Realm of Magic cabinets for these base game cabinets, just because I started looking at I started thinking about more of a black and white theme to the living room. But if I didn't mention, this apartment is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment with an ensuite in the master bedroom. And as you can see, this is the main sort of hallway that when you come in out of the apartment hallway, you'll come in this space. So it sort of features that black and white theme. This particular hallway is the hallway that leads to the 2 separate bedrooms and the bathroom, or the big bathroom, that I am working on right now. The bathrooms are pretty simple. I tried to include things that a kid would need. I also included laundry, and the laundry unit is in this particular bathroom. It's in that little room that I've just created, or that's where it will be. There's a double sink, so Madeline and Gregory don't have to share. And of course, shower and tub combo off in the corner. And there I go, putting in that stuff. And then I start working on Michelle's room, and I wanted Michelle's room to feel very light and airy. I imagine that at work she's constantly busy and it's really stressful, so when she goes to home and to her bedroom, she wants a nice airy, wanting to make her feel like she lives in the clouds. And so here you can see I've decided against that white base game wallpaper, and I'm going for this vampire wallpaper. I just love the idea that this building is really old, and that might have been original wallpaper or original molding to this apartment, and that might have been one of the main reasons why Michelle chose this unit to live in. And if you have watched any of my speed builds in the past, you know I typically will put down the bigger items. I'll kind of go room to room, put down all the big stuff that I need, and then I'll go back through the details. So I am kind of bouncing around from room to room a little bit at the beginning, because I'm just trying to configure or figure out where I want everything to go. So this is Michelle's bathroom. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, where her sink is gonna go, and the toilet, and I'm putting down, you know, rugs or big pieces that probably won't get moved a whole lot. Of course, Michelle will also have a little office desk set up, because I think she's probably an overachiever and does not mind taking her work home with her. But I did still want to keep the theme that her bedroom is an oasis. So she does have a little lounge area off in the corner that's very pretty and pink, and I just imagine she sort of sits here, drinks coffee in the morning, reads the news, or reads over her trashy magazines that she uses to unwind. And now I'm getting back into the living room. I'm still sort of trying to decide if this is the wallpaper that I wanted to go with. I do keep this wallpaper because I really liked it. So now I'm working on the kids' rooms, dropping down those bigger items. This first bedroom is Gregory's bedroom, and I just wanted I wanted both of the rooms to feel like Michelle went out and bought really nice furniture and some toys and things. But because she doesn't really know what kids want, she didn't really do a whole lot of personalization for the rooms. So they're not going to feel too terribly lived in, because the kids have only been here for a couple of months. But I imagine that as time goes on, you play with this family, that the kids will start to acquire more things. So you will see a little bit of personal touches to their rooms, but not a whole lot, because they haven't lived here for very long, and they might still be weary about whether or not this will be their permanent home. As I said, Madeline's a teenager, so she's probably been in the system for a little bit longer than her brother. And so she's probably, the fact that Michelle has adopted them, she's probably excited, but also very cautious to get too excited because she doesn't know if she'll stay. And so, as you can see, my indecisiveness strikes again, and I changed all the flooring. I wanted to keep it with the light flooring, and though I love that flooring from the outdoor retreat, I wanted the hardwood floors to look a little bit more sophisticated, so I went in the end with this base game hardwood. And here I am thinking, oh, I need to put a TV because I would imagine that maybe originally Michelle does not have a TV in the living room, but decided to put one in because she's probably thinking, oh, kids like TV, let me get a TV for the kids. Here I am working on this hallway that the kids share. Again, it's a very sophisticated adult look done by someone who's never had kids and hasn't really interacted with children since she was one. So it's not the shared spaces are not very kid friendly at all. But now I'm starting to put some more sort of personalized touches to the bedrooms. Here I am being indecisive about what I want Michelle's room to look like. I do think I stick with this wallpaper. I might do it in a different swatch. It has been a couple of weeks since I did this apartment, and I did kind of watch back through it while doing the editing, but again, it's been a couple of days, so I'm not 100% sure on all the little changes that I make. But yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of trying to find a better swatch for her because, like I said, I wanted her bedroom to feel very light and airy, like an oasis, like just somewhere she goes and she shuts that bedroom door and she relaxes. But also I wanted it to feel very sophisticated. And I imagine Michelle likes sort of vintage things and likes mixing vintage things with more modern day things. I have that cats and dogs bed. That's my favorite. I think it's probably everybody's favorite. Some base game chairs. I believe this little bench is from Realm of Magic. I love this bench. I do size it down because it's a coffee table, but I sized it down because I wanted it to be kind of a bench where she puts maybe some laundry and things. And I kind of went all out with the kitchen as far as putting appliances in. I gave her an ice cream machine that she probably purchased for the kids. And now I'm working on the dining room area. I really loved the configuration of this apartment. I don't see too many people building in this apartment complex, which the name of it is kind of escaping me, but it's in the Arts District. It's right beside the museum. I love these apartments. I think they're a really great size, especially when you want to have a larger family. And so I love this particular apartment specifically because I think it's just a good size. It is an odd shape, and it is one of those historical apartments. So there are these plaques on, I think, 3 of the walls that you cannot move. I'm sure if you have some sort of cheat, you can move them, but I don't. And so you'll see there are a couple of corners, such as sort of at the top right of the screen, there's that corner. It's blocking a plaque. There's another sort of wall in Michelle's room that's blocking a plaque. And I think in the kids' bathroom, there is a plaque that is blocked by a wall. And by doing that, you're not really taking up too much space. You're kind of making a slightly more interesting layout, but you're not taking up too much space that way. And here I am, as you've been seeing me just sort of put down those little details that we all love. I think that Michelle is someone who likes to collect art, not because she loves art, but because maybe she just gets inspired or feels like, oh, something needs to go here. So I don't think she's much of an art person or really decorations person. I would argue that maybe Michelle hired an interior designer to design her place, and the interior designer just picked things based off of Michelle's personality, and Michelle probably didn't have too many ideas for what she wanted, but just sort of was accepting of anything that the interior designer thought for her. So here I'm working on this little sort of foyer type of space. I don't like the doors that come in this building. I think they're just too office building looking, so I did want to block it off and give it's funny I should say that, because I think the door that I use that you enter the apartment is a get to work door, but I just like that door. I think it looks really classic and classy, and it looks more like a home. But here I am just putting those decorations, putting in some paintings, putting up some scone lights, because this space was really dark. I have a ton of lights in that living room, but it still felt really dark in a lot of corners. I don't know if that's just my game or if it's just the place where how the apartment lies. I have no idea. But now I'm working on that laundry room, just putting up some laundry things. Now, a lot of times when I play in an apartment, I think to myself, oh, they'll probably just send their laundry out, especially in the bigger apartments, or the more luxurious apartments, I should say. But I think that Michelle doesn't mind doing laundry. I think she likes doing sort of quote-unquote busy work. So just trying to clutter up this bathroom a little bit to make it look like kids live here. And now I'm working on Madeline's bedroom, and like I said, her bedroom is not going to have too many items in it because they haven't lived here very long, and usually in foster care you don't have a whole lot of stuff. You just have maybe a bag or two, because you never know if the place you're going to be at is where you're going to stay. And so she doesn't have a whole lot of personal items, but I think that Michelle has probably bought her a few personal items just to make her feel more at home. And then maybe for right now, Madeline is just not asking for a whole lot because she doesn't know if this is going to stay. So she just has a few things. As you can see, I put down a computer for her to do her homework on and a journal. Madeline is a gloomy sim, so I imagine she loves to write her feelings. And I put these posters on the wall because I think maybe originally Madeline and Gregory are from Strangerville. So those are Strangerville posters. And I imagine that those are things that Madeline has had forever, and they kind of remind her of her home. And then other items around the room might be things that she's just kind of acquired or things that Michelle has bought her. Anything that looks really pretty, I would think that Michelle bought it for her, because I don't think Madeline is a really sort of pretty kind of teenager. I think she's a little bit more practical and kind of dresses down a little bit. Now I'm working on Gregory's room, and again, he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff, and I'm sure Michelle just tried to think, what would a little boy want in his room, and sort of bought items that were sort of geared toward that kind of thinking. She has got him some toys. I would imagine that those art pieces are things that he might have worked on himself while living here. Of course, a book bag. And then I kind of cluttered his room up a little. This is probably one of the first times Gregory has ever had a bedroom to himself. And, the growing pains of learning how to be a parent, I doubt Michelle really knows to sort of teach them about being clean. And so she probably doesn't enforce too many rules, at least not for now. So I did want to clutter Greg's room up just a little bit, just so he's probably, out of the two of them, feels like this is his home, this is his house, he lives here, he's staying here forever. And you will be proud of me. I did go ahead, I put a thermostat and a trash can. I'm doing so well. I think I've made more of a conscious effort whenever I'm uploading something on YouTube or speed build on YouTube to make sure that I put a thermostat and a trash can and all of those things that you need in order for your Sims to function. Because in my personal, before I started YouTube and I would just upload things to the gallery, I would forget trash cans and thermostats and all of those things all of the time. For the kids' rooms, I would forget, the night lights, which I don't think I put in Gregory's room, but I think that would sort of lend itself to some fun gameplay. Maybe that's not something that Michelle would think to do, is to give him a nightlight. And I'm sure, I don't think they had really a tragic life in foster care, but I'm sure that Gregory has had some nightmares of, being taken away from his home. But I think their story, as tragic as it was, now that they're with Michelle, is going to be much, much better. But we are coming to the end of the video. I'm just, as you can see, putting in those last little details, those little knickknacks, just things to make this house feel like a home. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a happy little thumbs up by way of pushing that like button. Comment down below what you think about the place, what you think about my story. I'd greatly appreciate any feedback. And be sure to check out those other YouTubers below. I'm sure that we will be putting together a playlist of all the single mom houses, so be on the lookout for that as well. And let's see, stay tuned till the end because I will have a video tour. And if you haven't already and you want to come back and see more of my content, please, oh please subscribe. I try to post 3 times a week. It doesn't always happen, but I do my very best. But you can always hit that notification bell that will let you know when I post. And follow me on Twitter because I always post my videos on Twitter as well. But again, my name is Cece, and I promise never to break your game. Bye!